Hey there, welcome back to gggaming. So, we have a brand new 7-star Tera Raid boss in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and it, of course, is Swampert. So, this is a really good one. He is fairly tough to beat, so stick around. We're going to go through all the details on this Pokemon, exactly how this raid works, so that you can best set up your team to solo it. All right, without further ado, let's get into the details. As always, we are going to use the game on the left side of the screen along with the Cerebi database on the right. It just works really well to be able to go back and forth with the correlation between the two. You can see this stuff in real time. Okay, what am I doing? Summary. Summary is what we're doing. As always, we're going to go through the details, exactly what you need to know. So, he is a poison Tera type, which means two weaknesses, ground and psychic types. The majority, in fact, all of the showcase Pokemon that I'm going to do for soloing it are going to be on the psychic side. But I will show you a few here towards the end of this video when we get over to the actual Pokemon party builds and all that, that are ground type setups that you could potentially use. Not the best, but I will show you them anyway because I was able to solo with those builds. But poison, so ground and psychic, those are your two friends to make this guy much more manageable. Beyond that, let's go ahead and move over to the moves and stats for Swampert. Now, here's what to know. Here's the biggest thing to know about Swampert, and that is he's got 2 physical and 2 special moves. 2 and 2, 4. Yeah, there you go. 2 and 2. That makes your 4. So, Earthquake right here and Liquidation are the physical moves. Those are by and far the strongest moves he has. So that's what we're going to focus on mitigating because they really do hit very hard. As we see with Earthquake right there, front and center, it's got 100 power and 100 accuracy. It is a tremendously power move, one of the best ground type moves in the game. Liquidation, on the other hand, has a slightly less power at 85, but has a very annoying secondary effect to potentially lower your defensive stat. One of those, and hey, it's probably doing more than Earthquake anyway, so that's going to be the focus on our builds, is mitigating those, making Hydro Pump and Sludge Wave much more manageable. Sludge Wave is strong at 95, Hydro Pump at 110, but Hydro Pump also has an accuracy of 80, so he will miss with Hydro Pump quite often. That'll make more sense in the actual showcases when we kind of walk through my setups and what you're going to do to solo these guys. So that's what to know. 2 and 2. Which might be the first time, I believe, in a 7-star raid boss. Most of the time, it's either all physical or all special. So they kind of split him down the middle. I like it. Unique challenge. Kind of different ways to set up, but it'll make a lot more sense when we get over and we talk about the Pokemon here in a little bit. The stats for Swampert. This, of course, is the Swampert with the Mightiest Mark. Show you that right there. It is the Mightiest Mark, so this is the one directly from the raid. So these are the stats as is from the raid. You're looking at a pretty solid, rounded stat pool. The speed is at 140. The speed's very slow, so most of your Pokemon that you're going to take in against this will get to go first. No problem there, so you don't have to worry about really any investment in speed. In fact, with my recommendations, won't be no investment in speed at all. Otherwise, he does get a notch up on the defensive side to 237, which is why we're going to focus the majority on the special attack side. But overall, it'll be all right. We got this. Stick around. We're going to get to the actual builds here shortly. Now that we've covered the moves and the stats, let's go ahead and move over to the Cerebi side of the screen. So we're going to go over there and talk about the raid flow for this raid and what to expect from this Swampert. Essentially, he's got your 4 moves right here, your primary moves, 2 additional moves. Those are coded moves used at specific intervals during the raid, which is Muddy Water and Yawn. Muddy Water is slightly annoying. It does have the potential to drop your special attack stat. No, your accuracy stat. It has the potential to drop your accuracy stat. Accuracy. Which does get to be annoying, but overall, it's manageable. You'll see as we get over there. So right here's when he's going to use those additional moves. So you got Muddy Water right when the event, the raid starts. And then he also uses it again down here at about 40% HP. So by that point, you're pretty much all built. You're set up and you're going to run through this guy anyway. But that one right there at the very beginning can be annoying because if he drops an accuracy stat right out of the gate, for whatever reason, my RNG seems to miss quite a bit because of that. But it's all right. We'll manage it. We'll do with it. All right. Beyond that, he's going to use Yawn. Yawn, he's going to use at about 60%. That, of course, does put you to sleep. It's not a big deal. If you do get hit with Yawn, it is RNG. He's only going to use it on one of the characters, one of the NPCs, or you. So you're a 1 in 4 shot to get hit with Yawn. Just use a heal cheer. When you do fall asleep, you're going to be good to go. No worries there. Beyond that, the two big milestones that we're going to focus on, which are of course are the resetting of stats. So you got the player reset, so that's our reset at 80% time. All right, that's key. The 80% time markers when he's going to reset the stats, and then he's also going to reset his stats at 75% HP. So not time related, HP related. So you will have to debuff this guy a couple times. We're going to start the raid doing some debuffs, knock him down to 75. He's going to clear his stats. By then, that point, we'll have boosted ourselves, and then we'll debuff him a little bit depending on the build. Make more sense. Definitely check out the showcases. You understand what I'm jabbering about. All right. Beyond that, pretty much covers the raid flow, what to expect. He will steal a Tera charge, so you're going to have to get 4 shots off on this guy before you are able to terastalize. But again, no big deal. That covers all of that. The only other thing I would point out, scroll down, is the fact that as with the past several 7-star raids, we are getting the Herba Mysticas back, which is really, really great for farming. So it's really, really good to farm these 7-star raid bosses and keep them around because they have a great drop rate for those. In fact, majority of the time you do defeat these guys, you tend to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Herba Mysticas per drop. So really, really good. Other than that, let's jump over and let's take a look at the optimal party builds. Okay, so we are over here. We're in the YouTube box, as always, for our optimum party build. So everything down here, these are the NPCs that you have the potential to be paired with. So we will discuss the best NPC party setup. By the way, check out the video link down below in the related videos on how to lock that party, because you can get the exact same party every time. Case in point, when we do our showcases, we will have Gardevoir as well as Staraptor in our party, and I'll explain shortly why those are so good to have in this particular setup. Here's what we're going to do for our showcases, all right? We're going to show you Mewtwo, Galarian Articuno, really, really good build, and also Mew. Those are going to be the 3 showcases we do show you. Maybe later on before the next weekend, we'll do another showcase on potentially Poliwrath, Gastrodon, and Arceus, all of which I've soloed this guy with. Just not the most consistent builds, except for Arceus, he's fairly consistent, but not as good as the other 3 in my opinion. So I will show you these. If you want to check out those move sets, pause the video, etc., to take a look at what they are and have fun trying to solo with those. I was able to do it. In fact, the Gastrodon was the first one I soloed it with. Much more of an RNG factor than these other guys, though. So be on the lookout for these showcase videos. But let's talk about your NPC setup. So those 3 party NPCs in your party and the best ones to have. As always, Arboliva and Gardevoir. Those are your 2 critical characters. You want at least one of those because they are your healing. All right, Arboliva has Life Dew right there. So that's healing. And then you've also got Grassy Terrain right there. Scribble over that again with Arboliva to help with the healing situation. Do you have to have these in this raid? Absolutely not. You can do it without them, but it's so much easier and much more consistent if you do have one of those. I'm not going to recommend one over the other. They're both really, really good in this. Bellavolt, I do not have him in my party, but he is still an MVP star. Why is that? Well, it's because he's got Light Screen right there. Light Screen halves the damage from special attacks. 2 of this guy's attacks are special. Those are, what, Sludge Wave and Hydro Pump. So Bellavolt in your party, you're taking a whole lot less damage from those, but I don't have him. Not 100% necessary. I will say, of these other 3 that I typically do recommend, which are Arcanine, Tauros, and Staraptor, and we do have Staraptor in our party. Why is that? It's because they all have the ability Intimidate. Intimidate drops that attack stat 1 time every time they enter the battle, so every time they get knocked out by these tremendously strong 7-star raid bosses, or when the fight first starts, they come in, they use the Intimidate, it drops the attack stat of Swampert. Why is it important? Because, as I said, he's got 2 tremendously strong physical moves, Earthquake and Liquidation. When you drop his attack stat, then he stops using those moves. He won't prioritize those moves against you because his attack stat gets dropped. You're going to see that in our setup with these other builds, the ones we actually do showcase, because we really want to avoid Earthquake and Liquidation, which can be very, very painful and shift this fight very, very quickly, especially if he's critical hitting you with those. Okay, so that's the setup. That's the build. One of those 2 healers. Bellavolt if you want him, at least 1 Intimidators to help control that nasty, nasty set of physical attacks. But hey, definitely check out the showcases. As always, drop a like, hit that sub button if you've never seen my videos before, and hey, we'll see you in the next one.